It's 10 trivia questions on the NBA, action movies of the 80s and 90s, baking, and more for Steve from Tiffany. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be, and welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thank you so much for checking out the show today and subscribing so you never miss a new episode Monday through Friday. Today is a very special customized episode for my friend Steve from his wife Tiffany. She wanted to surprise him, hit me up about a month ago or maybe more, and was like, hey, I want to do a special episode for Steve. We have this ritual where my family listens to the show every day at dinner. We even do a special silly dance during the opening song that my 4-year-old loves. I would love to set up an episode for Steve as a surprise. Here are some of his favorite things. So Steve loves Star Wars, bassoons, and lots of other great topics, and we're going to have a ton of fun with a special quiz just for Steve today. And Steve, hopefully you get 10 out of 10 on this quiz set up just for you from your lovely wife. We have a couple of warm-up questions before we get to stuff Steve loves. Let's dive into those. Here comes the first question. How many players make up each squad in a regulation game of Ultimate Frisbee? The answer is 7. 7 per team in Ultimate Frisbee. Question number 2 for the warm-up. What New York City borough spawned the likes of Run DMC, LL Cool J, and Ja Rule? They are all from Queens. And for sports and games, what sports' gruesome injuries are recorded in Thrasher Magazine's colorful Hall of Meat? That is skateboarding. All right, we're all warmed up, we're ready to go, and we've got a bunch of stuff Steve loves right now. Here we go. 10 questions for Steve from Tiffany. Here's question number 1. Which Philadelphia 76er helped legitimize the dunk as an acceptable tactic in a game? Number 1, which 76er helped legitimize the dunk as an acceptable tactic? Number 1. Question number 2, who directed the 1997 action film Face Off? Who directed Face Off? Question number 3, who was the youngest player to score 10,000 points in the NBA? Number 3, who was the youngest player to score 10,000 points in the NBA? Question number 4, what wrestler starred in the John Carpenter movie They Live? What wrestler starred in the John Carpenter movie They Live? Number 5, bassoons come in 2 sizes, the double bassoon and what lower octave option? Number 5, bassoons come in 2 sizes, the double bassoon and what lower octave option? Number 6, what is the color of C-3PO's arm in Star Wars The Force Awakens? What is the color of C-3PO's arm in Star Wars The Force Awakens? Number 7, the Greek goddess of running has a name similar to a southeastern state capital. Who is she? Number 7, the Greek goddess of running has a name similar to a southeastern state capital. Who is she? Number 8, who played the part of Count Dooku in the Star Wars universe? Who played Count Dooku in Star Wars? Number 9, founded in 2015, in what city can you run the Nebraska Marathon? Founded in 2015, in what city can you run the Nebraska Marathon? And number 10, the word biscotti is derived from the Latin words bis cactus, but what does that mean in English? The word biscotti is derived from the Latin words bis, B-I-S, cactus, C-O-C-T-U-S, but what does that mean in English? Those are all your questions, Steve. I hope you have a fun time playing along with those. We'll be right back with the answers after this. We are back with the answers to trivia for Steve. Steve, let's see if you got all of these correct on baking and basketball and more things that maybe start with B, like bassoons. Here's number one. Which 76er helped legitimize the dunk as an acceptable tactic? That would be Dr. J. Julius Erving. Started using it as an offensive move to not get shots blocked, dunking, not just like a big showboating thing for the bigger players, but Dr. J started doing it to get the ball in the hoop quicker, easier, and without getting blocked. Number two, who directed the 1997 action film Face Off? That was John Woo, one of my favorite movies. Got to watch that on the 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C., which would have been in 1999, I think it was, so a couple years later. But we had a VCR on the bus from Chicago to D.C., and we watched so many R-rated movies. It was the coolest trip as a 14-year-old kid. It was just nonstop swearing. We watched Ransom and Face Off and Armageddon. I think maybe Armageddon was out, yeah. And something else. Something with a lot of swearing. Oh, Lethal Weapon 4. A lot of great swearing in there for a 14-year-old kid. Number three, who is the youngest player to score 10,000 points in the NBA? That was LeBron James at age 23. In 59 days, LeBron James scored 10,000 points and has that record as being the youngest to do so. Number four, what wrestler starred in the John Carpenter movie They Live? Roddy Piper. He's on the cover with those glasses that lets him see who has been alienized, or who is an alien, rather, walking amongst everybody else on Earth. Number five, bassoons come in two sizes, the double bassoon and what lower octave option? That's the contra bassoon, which also sounds like a great 80s action movie. Maybe throw Tom Selleck in Contra Bassoon. I'd watch that. Number six, what is the color of C-3PO's arm in Star Wars The Force Awakens? It's red. Some sort of arm replacement. If you know the mythology, I'm sure. Number seven, the Greek goddess of running has a name similar to the capital of Georgia. It's Atalanta, a renowned and swift-footed huntress from Greek mythology. Number eight, who played the part of Count Dooku in Star Wars? Christopher Lee. Number nine, founded in 2015. In what city can you run the Nebraska Marathon? That's Omaha, Nebraska. And number 10, the word biscotti is derived from the Latin words bis coctus. What does that mean in English? Twice baked, like an extra crispy cookie. It's twice baked. And that makes sense because that describes it perfectly. Steve, I hope you had fun playing along with today's episode from Tiffany and family. And thank you guys so much for dancing to the intro every single time you listen to it at dinner. I appreciate it. If you want to do a custom episode, hit me up on Venmo, on PayPal, on email, ryanbuds@gmail.com. Send me some topics that your loved one or friend or whoever would be interested in and what day you want it to go out on a Monday through Friday, and I will make that happen for you. Your fact of the day is the filmmaker Werner Herzog ate maggots to coach the actor Christian Bale, who had to eat them for a scene in the 2006 movie Rescue Dawn. Just some maggots going down your gullet. Oh man, I don't think I could do that, even for a movie called Rescue Dawn. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling a friend. Thanks for celebrating your loved ones with custom episodes, and we'll see you next time for more trivia with Buds. Cheers.